Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I here recording Thursday, December 5th, talking about Kristaps Porzingis and Marcus Smart, two guys who will forever be connected because of the trade that, in part, helped the Celtics win a championship. So, quick rewind. Obviously, it's been a year. Celtics won the title, but just last summer, Celtics traded Marcus Smart, Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and picks, et cetera, to the Wizards and Grizzlies in a deal. Marcus Smart went to the Grizzlies. Gallinari, Muscala, and the pick that became Julian Phillips went to the Wizards. Celtics get back Kristaps Porzingis and a 2023 top 4 protected first round pick from the Warriors for Marcus Smart. So effectively, Celtics trade Marcus Smart, 2 filler players, in a second round pick for Kristaps Porzingis and a first round pick. Protected, but a first round pick. Then they flipped the pick, I should say, plus one of their own picks, plus Brogdon, plus Rob to the Blazers, get Jrue Holiday. The rest is history, but it all spawned from that Kristaps Porzingis trade. It freed up a guard spot for them to acquire Jrue Holiday and feel comfortable with it. It allowed them to get that extra pick so they didn't have to spend one of their own. And since then, like you said, how many plays has Marcus played for the Grizzlies, Sam?
So Marcus, since joining the Grizzlies in June of 2023, has appeared in 32 games as of Thursday, December 5th, 2024.
Yep. And
Kristaps Porzingis, who is known to be an injury-prone player, has appeared in 61 games in the regular season,
7 of the
and
playoffs.
then 7 postseason games for the Celtics.
So 68 games versus Marcus's 34, you said?
Over double.
Yeah. On top of that, Marcus, well, he's had his moments. He'll always have his moments. It's not been amazing for the Grizzlies. He's played in 12 games this year, 9 points, 2.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 36% from the field, 30% from 3. And Porzingis has been as close to a perfect fit as you can possibly get. Averaging 21, 8, and 2, 149, 36 splits through 4 games this year. And they got a first round pick. It is remarkable. And both of us love Marcus Smart. It is remarkable how Brad Stevens leveraged Marcus Smart's tenacity and leadership and impact that is not in the box score to get extra value to anybody in the league right now would admit that the Grizzlies got fleeced in that trade. Like, objectively so. And it sucks because we like Marcus Smart, obviously. Kristaps Porzingis helped the Celtics win a championship. He's playing at an all-star level, and the Grizzlies gave up a pick in the deal.
Yeah, the pick is the really weird part of all of this, isn't it? It's just like
they wanted Marcus.
And he's a, like, I don't know, logical fit there. Like, it makes sense. Like, it fits the identity of the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have always been like a gritty type team. That's why Tony Allen fit so well there when they were really a powerhouse in the early 2010s. But it's just unfortunate that Marcus hasn't been healthy enough. And one thing that people talk about all the time in sports, especially when it comes to the front office, is the willingness to make a trade maybe a year too early instead of a year too late. Because if you make it early, you're not going to lose the value. Like, Brad probably timed it up perfectly. And at the time, the big take that what came out of this show was they had better win. Like, it was a cutthroat move. It was kind of heartbreaking. It was something that could be looked at as like unfair, or, you know, he deserved better, or, you know, you name it, that kind of thing. And that's fine. I still think it's true. I still think, like, it sucks, and it will forever suck to me that he wasn't a part of the championship team, because I just think he earned something in that. He obviously wasn't on the team. Like, he shouldn't get a ring, but he was part of the entire climb. And then they were like, "Oh man, we can't get high enough. We need to cut some weight." They cut him. Like, that's
well,
what happened.
As much as I loved Marcus, he would not have fit in this style of basketball. That is what the Celtics are and what has made them amazing. Because what makes the Celtics amazing is they have 5 guys on the court. I would say now, what, 75% of the time, all of which who can shoot a three and make threes at a average or above average rate. Marcus Smart was never a good 3-point shooter. He just wasn't. He would get hot. He had moments, but he was not a reliable 3-point shooter. And I know your big argument is, oh, well, he always came through in the playoffs. And I get that to a degree, but that doesn't change the spacing of the floor because people didn't respect him like a good 3-point shooter. And at the end of the day, as much as he can step up in the playoffs from three, that only changes so much because it like having 5 shooters versus having 4 shooters and a guy who's not great but steps up is the difference. Is teams respect 5 shooters and it alters the way defenses guard 5 shooters. And I don't think anybody would argue that Derek White, Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford are all better 3-point shooters than Marcus Smart. And having that while also having no defensive holes is what makes the Celtics so great. The same goes for Rob. The same goes for Brogdon, one of which doesn't shoot threes, one of which wasn't the strongest defender. Having a team that's that 6 with no holes that can be like this connected at all times is what allows the Celtics to play the style of basketball they are. And so not only did Brad Stevens time up incredible value for Marcus Smart, but he also did it to promote effectively Missoula ball, which is now the style of basketball that teams are trying to copy around the league, I would argue. And so Brad just did a great job, and the KP trade is probably one of the better trades. And it comes with its own trade-offs because KP is also hurt. You have to be careful with him. He's not going to be a 82-game player ever, but neither is Marcus anymore. So that's probably like Brad Stevens can't talk about enough just how unbelievable he has done since taking over as GM.
Yeah, and you look at it from since the trade standpoint. For the Grizzlies, Marcus has attempted 191 threes. He's only made 59. He's shooting 31% from three. And as you mentioned, that really would not work with the Celtics. The Celtics are a team that is elite at shooting the three ball. They really don't have a lot of room for error in that sense. And I'm trying so hard to filibuster as I pull up the roster and the lowest 3-point percentage guy on the team. And here we are. 3-point percentage. The only guy on the team that really never shoots threes is Luke. Guys in the rotation this season, the lowest are Jalen and Jrue Holiday, who are each shooting 33% from three, which is still not good. But
they are respected as 3-point shooters.
Yes. And if I went to last season, I'd imagine the floor for 3-point makes would be even higher because the Celtics just established themselves as an elite shooting team, a team that you off of when they're on the perimeter. You can't cheat to help. And that is what allows the players, the star players, to thrive so much because they have less pressure on them. It's incredible to think about, like, back in the day when teams didn't do this, how good players had to be to get points in the paint because the spacing just was not there for them to have a free run to the rim.
Yeah, I mean, it is wild to see the year-over-year numbers of how many threes the Celtics players are taking. Like Jason Tatum, 52% of his shots this year are from three, and I'm gonna hypothesize something here. So let me check. I think that is probably. I think Tatum's shot profile is reflective of the Celtics team shot profile. Like I'm gonna back up my math here. Check. I haven't checked, so I could look like an idiot shortly. But the Celtics,
Just so much that the shot charts look very similar.
as in the Celtics percentage of shots that are threes is probably very similar to Tatum's percentage of shots that are threes. So Tatum is taking 10.6 out of his 20.1 shots. It's around 53% of his shot are threes. The Celtics are taking 51 shots out of their 90.6. So 51 divided by 90.6 is 56.
55. Yeah.
56. So it's very, very similar. Last year, Tatum took, if I can switch over to the players tab here, of Tatum's threes, he took 19.3 shots a game, 8.2 were threes. So 8.2 divided by 19.3, around 42% of his shots. Whereas the Celtics shot profile last year was 42.5 out of 90. So 42.5 out of 90 is around 47%. So it is risen at almost the exact percentage that the Celtics has. The point being, the Celtics are objectively making it a point to take more threes this year. Kristaps fits that. Marcus doesn't. Add in all of the fact that they got a pick. The pick was slipped for Jrue Holiday, who fits that perfectly. It's just an incredible masterclass by Brad Stevens, because literally every single player who was involved in those deals at the time, whether it was clearing space in Grant Williams or trading like literally 1-to-1 for Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart, has been injured for a significant portion of time in the last 2 seasons. Grant Williams obviously is less so. It's more of a freak injury with the ACL or Achilles or whatever it was. I think it was ACL. But Brogdon chronically hurt. Rob chronically hurt. Looking like Marcus is now chronically hurt. Jrue Holiday has been, knock on wood, pretty much a beacon of health. KP has been healthy relative to the rest of his career. It's
True.
just an incredible timing job by Brad Stevens to do what he did, to assemble this team at the time he did, because now the Celtics are, I think, I would say 28 out of 30, or 20, maybe 7 out of 30 teams would trade places with the Celtics roster if they had the option right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think another thing about all of this is the expectations around the health too. Like, I think we all have low expectations for Kristaps. I think we're all just be out there 60% of the time. I think everybody's happy with that. They're like, cool, good to see him. Marcus, I think that kind of expectation doesn't follow guards around as much. Even though Marcus plays a very chaotic style where he is going to have to hit the floor, he's going to have to put his body on the line. And though him and Drew Holiday have very similar skill sets, especially defensively, Holiday isn't a guy that has built an identity on being a menace. It's just he is extremely skilled. He's a surgeon on defense. He's not just, I will do everything possible to get a stop. He doesn't have to do that. And it doesn't mean he's better or worse in that facet of the game, but the consistency from beyond the arc is much more beneficial to the Celtics. And, that wasn't the trade. It wasn't Drew for Marcus straight up, but it ended up playing out that way. They just swapped them. And for years, we all went to bat for him. And I still think Marcus is a good player. I think he could help a winning team. I think once he has his legs back under him in Memphis, I think he will be a winning player for them. And looking at his box score on Basketball Reference won't tell the entire story for him. It's the same thing that you could say for when he was a member of the Celtics. All of us would be like, not a score guy. He adds stuff outside the stat sheet. And it's all true. And I think that's one of the reasons why Grizzlies fans should be frustrated by this. I still don't think they as a team had to give up too much for him either. Like, I don't think it's the kind of thing that they're going to look back, be like, damn, we should have never traded for this guy. Like, they didn't give up Porzingis 1-for-1. It was a 3-team trade. So it doesn't mean that it can't be a good trade for them too.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I do think it is going to get infinitely harder to win with a player on your roster who doesn't shoot threes or is not good at threes. I don't think it's impossible. I think there are instances. I think the Warriors is the latest one, but look at the Nuggets run. Aaron Gordon is their non-shooter, and he had his second career high in three-point percentage. They either won the title. Coincidence? Maybe. Probably not. So it is what it is. Shout out to Brad Stevens. It was a good trade, as much as we all love Marcus, or at least Sam and I. Just a masterclass to get KP and get a pick back and flip that pick. Just reflecting on it now, as Marcus is coming to town, as KP is back from his injury and playing well, but appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me do my thing. Oh.
Yes, and while Jack reaches for the box, you can take a look. I have the How About Them C's hat on. Ooh. So if you want... Oh, I think it froze with me showing my hat, which is even better.
Oh, nope. It froze after you showed your hat, but that's okay. So I have my advent calendar here. If you saw it on the live stream last night, I brought it to the garden because I forgot to do it on the pre-recorded pod. So I brought this to the garden last night. It was very funny.
What did you get last night?
What did I get last night? It was I don't remember.
Okay.
Remember. We're on the 5th. It's down here. Merry Christmas, Mom. Love you. Thank you for the advent calendar. It says, when out on the lawn, there arose such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. That was the part of the poem today. And would you like to guess, or do you not want to play that game?
Is it a tree?
No. It is a little bear with a bow tie.
Oh, for the Bruins.
Yes. So, cheers. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Merry Christmas. I'll let
Coincidence
Sam wrap
that
up.
there's a Celtics Bruins doubleheader on Saturday when Marcus will be there? I think not. I don't have a poem off the top of my head. Nothing really that topical. I will try and do that as much as I can, though. I thought that was fun. All right. Well, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you think of the trade. If you're going to the game Saturday, you should still give Marcus a round of applause. I think he's earned that. You can leave a comment, leave a like, hit the bell, because Jack and I are here every single day. New stuff. Other videos like this one are up on non-pod and game recap days to keep you updated with all things Celtics. Those other 2 videos are up Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and the day after each game, respectively. You can find us on Spotify and Apple as well. All pods and recaps are up there for you. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very much. We went through the Spotify Wrapped on the episode from yesterday. So big thank you to anybody that listens there. You probably aren't seeing this today, but if you're really diehard and you do come to the YouTube, we do appreciate you guys, because it's pretty cool to see the growth. Email hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll be reading those on the Saturday recording for Sunday. So get those thoughts in. 2 big games between now and then. So we'd love to hear from you guys. hbtcpod@gmail.com. The socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack Simone NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.